I'm Annie Stores and welcome back to another video. It's hard to say video, not Vlogmas, after the last 24 days, but I have an exciting video for you. One that I have been dying to talk about for like the last however long, but we're here now, so grab a brew. I'll try not to ramble too much, but there's a lot to tell you. Yeah. So we have a trip announcement to share, and it is such a pinch me moment because it's just our ultimate dream trip. So lots of details to share with you, lots of vlogs to share with you over the next few weeks, and we're just super excited. So we are going to Florida in not even that far away, like 6 weeks time. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so unbelievably excited. So it has been a bit of a journey, so like I say, I'll try not to ramble, but do want to fill you in on all of the details. So where to start? Like everyone, we've had trips cancelled, not knowing when to plan for stuff, borders closed, all the rest of it. So we very tentatively booked a trip, and originally the plan was that we wanted to do Walt Disney World and Universal. So we booked a 2-week trip split across both, so a few days at Universal, the rest of the time, the bulk of the time, at Disney World. And this was at the time when borders were still closed, we didn't know what was going on, all the rest of it, so it was a very sort of tentative trip. It has changed quite a few times since then, so I'll try and update you as we go through this vlog so you know. And the reason why we haven't talked about it is because we wanted to wait until Oscar knew about it, and because borders were still closed, we just didn't want to tell him too prematurely and then not have it happen and have him really disappointed. So over the last year, as things started to improve and borders were opening, etc., we thought, brilliant, let's reveal it to him as part of his Christmas present, which we did, and I'll drop in those clips right now.
Oh cow!
What is this?
Look at the balloons. Jeez, man, jeez. Get in the box.
Right here. Why are we so terrible?
Oscar is now in the box.
In the hide. I'm a pop-up box.
Right.
Oscar in the box.
So Walt Disney ticket.
What?
Walt Disney World.
What do you mean?
Look at this.
What's it say?
And I'm the only one going. Universal Studios, SeaWorld, Discovery Cove.
Ah! Oh my god! Are we going to Harry Potter Land?
Yeah,
Where else are we going?
SeaWorld.
Oh my gosh! We're going to Florida! Oh, we're going to Florida!
This is the best Christmas ever.
Yay! So, yeah, that is our trip. So let me fill you in on the details. So, like I say, it was originally Universal and Walt Disney, and then we did the cruise in July last year, and we just fell in love. We absolutely loved it. Oscar was in heaven. So we started to think about whether or not we could and should add on a cruise either to at the beginning of our trip or the end of the trip. So we started having a look, and there were some cruise dates that didn't really fit, to be fair. They were like 8 days out from when we'd originally booked. So we had a really hard think about it. And in 2020, because I was working all throughout the pandemic, I think I only took something like 5 days holiday from work. So I had all of that carried forward. So we looked at it and thought, could we extend the trip into 3 weeks? And the holidays worked, I could pull that through from work. So we were like, right, let's just do it. So we added on a 3-night cruise from Port Canaveral going to the Bahamas on the Disney Dream. And amazingly enough, it was actually like really reasonable. Well, certainly compared to the Disney Magic at Sea staycation that we did in 2021. So those 3 nights were costing us something like £1,500, which we were like, this is amazing. Let's add it on, let's go. We were looking at everything from the Bahamas and we were just like, this is a dream. You know, Castaway Cay, Port Nassau. It just looked incredible. So we were so excited because we were, how then the trip then changed was that we had the cruise up front, then Universal, then Walt Disney World. And we were absolutely buzzing, thinking this is just incredible. We'll never get to do this again. This is just once in a lifetime stuff. Fast forward to November and Disney introduced a new rule around vaccinations, which meant that anyone traveling age 5 and up has to be fully vaccinated. Now, we're very pro-vaccine. Pete and I are triple jabbed now, and we certainly would give Oscar the jab if we could, not for holidays, but for health reasons. But obviously in the UK, that's not quite a thing yet. So unfortunately, we had to cancel the cruise part of the trip, which, like I say, we were very happy we hadn't yet told him, because I think he would have been very disappointed. So that left us with then a big gap to fill, and our holiday was kind of all over the show. So we've had to change it a couple of times. So originally, the plan for Universal was that we were staying at the Hard Rock Hotel, and we were doing that only because we were staying, I think, for 3 or 4 nights, and we wanted to make use of the express pass, etc. But then we thought, well, why don't we extend our Universal portion of the trip? Because as you've probably seen from this channel, we're really getting into Harry Potter. We've been reading the books to Oscar over the last sort of 18 months or so, and he is just all into Harry Potter. He also loves The Simpsons. We're Dr. Seuss fans. We love Jurassic Park. There's so much at Universal that we're so excited about. So we thought, well, why don't we extend our Universal stay? So that's what we've done. However, that meant then cost-wise that Hard Rock Hotel then became cost prohibitive to do it for the full duration of Universal, which is going to end up being 9 nights. So what we've done is we've switched our booking from Hard Rock Hotel to Cabana Bay instead, which I've seen has great reviews. We've got a volcano bay overlooking room, and we just can't wait for that. So our trip is going to be 9 nights at Universal, staying at Cabana Bay. So that's the upfront portion. We would then still like that 4-day gap that the cruise was covering before our Walt Disney World portion of the trip kicks in. So I'll just touch on that. For Walt Disney World, we're staying at Coronado Springs, which we're so excited about. That hotel looks absolutely beautiful. And we have got the dining credit, so that was the offer that was happening at the time. So I think it's $61 credit per night. And we're staying at Walt Disney World for 10 nights. So that's all very exciting. I'll come back to that. But like I say, we still had that 4-day gap in the middle of the trip then, because we couldn't move our Disney booking without losing the credit. So we thought, well, what should we do? So we're having a look at things that we can do in Florida, and we've then just kind of split the trip up into those portions. So whilst we were looking at things we could do in Florida, we saw the Black Friday sales coming up for Discovery Cove, and that's something I've seen a lot in other people's vlogs and also heard people talking about on the Dib. I've seen in their trip reports, etc. And we thought, well, that's perfect, because actually the things you can do at Discovery Cove are some of the things that we would have wanted to do on the cruise. So let's book Discovery Cove. So we booked a day at Discovery Cove, like I say, in the Black Friday offer, so we got a really good deal on that. Even better though, they actually have thrown in some free tickets to SeaWorld, and I think that includes Aquatica and Busch Gardens as well, but we're just not going to have time to do everything. So we are going to do SeaWorld though as well, because we've got those tickets. And then while we were thinking about some of like the more off-site things, we thought, well, why don't we just book an off-site hotel room for that middle portion to try and keep the costs low. Of course, we could have looked at a Disney hotel or even further extending Universal, but we just thought, you know, the budget was kind of starting to spiral, and whilst we do budget for our holidays, it's going to cost us a lot of money, of course, to spend 3 weeks in Florida. So we've just gone for cheap and cheerful. We've booked the Rosen Inn, which I've seen a lot of other people staying at as well. And even though it's like a budget cost, it actually looks like a really nice hotel. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to put our 4 days where we're not at parks into good use, because there's loads of things to do in Florida. In fact, too much. We can't actually we can't fit everything in the time that we have, and we do actually have a really reasonable length of time there. So what we've decided to do for our off-site days is we're going to do a mall day, of course, and go to the outlets, and we're also going to the Titanic exhibition. I'm a massive history buff, in particular love Titanic history, so really excited for that. Whilst I'm there, Pete's going to take Oscar to Chuck E. Cheese, because pizza and video games, you know, they'll be in heaven. We've also decided to do a Disney Springs day, because we love Disney Springs and all the shopping, but it's really difficult to kind of balance. You don't want to take too much time out of the parks to do things like shopping, which really you can do anywhere. So we're going to dedicate a day to Disney Springs, eating and shopping, which we're so excited about. And then we've got more of like a resty day when we're doing changeovers and things. So that's a lot of information to throw at you there. In summary, because even I was getting confused at some points because of the amount of shopping and changing, we're going to be in Florida for, we say 3 weeks, it's just a bit over 3 weeks. And we're going to start with Universal, staying at Cabana Bay. We're going to do Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure and Volcano Bay. Then we move off-site, staying at Rosen Inn, where we're going to do some of the off-site activities, make use of shopping, the pool, etc. And then on to Disney, where, like I say, we're staying at Coronado Springs for 10 nights. And we've got all of our park reservations booked already. So obviously we're going to do the 4 main parks: Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios. I've also built us in a free day where we're going to try and hope to go to one of the water parks, whether that's Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach. I think coming into sort of that period, they start to alternate which one's open and which one's closed while they do maintenance and things. So I guess we'll just have to see, and have to see what the weather's like, because when we went on our trip in 2019 in November, they often closed the parks because of inclement weather, so we didn't actually get to do any of the water parks on that trip. So we're hoping we can do that this time, but all being well, etc. So we just can't believe it. Obviously everything is kind of now been thrown up into the air again with Omicron, so whether or not we will actually get to go is another thing. But provided that plane goes, and knock wood that we've not got COVID, we're hoping to get our bums on those seats and get over there. So we just can't wait. So we have booked with attraction tickets. That was who we booked Disney and the Universal tickets through. And so far they've been absolutely brilliant, actually. We usually tend to book direct, but because of the kind of split stay and the chopping and changing, we've kind of done a DIY it, do it yourself. So we've booked most of the package with attraction tickets. Separately, we booked Cabana Bay and Rosen Inn through Virgin Holidays, who had some really great deals on, and again have been so good with the chopping and changing. They've been very flexible, which has been appreciated. We are flying with Aer Lingus, and I'm so excited. Since I did the Aer Lingus test flight from Manchester Airport before they launched officially in 2021, we just wanted to book with Aer Lingus. It was such a great experience, and the cost was literally half the price of Virgin. So everything that we've done, we've tried to do as much within our budget as possible. So that's kind of the trip in a nutshell. Since we've booked, and because of how close it is, advanced dining reservation for Disney has already been and gone, so again I will pop in the clip for that now. So it's still Christmas Day, and our advanced dining reservation window opens up in 15 minutes. So we've just kind of excused ourselves. We've got our itinerary, we've got our phones, and I'm nervous, but I'm hoping because it's Christmas Day we might have a better shot, maybe, because other people might be busy.
Everyone's too busy day drinking.
That'll be us after this. Let's hope for another Christmas miracle, because I think it has been a bit tough to get reservations from what I'm hearing. So let's see how we get on.
Well, we've tried, haven't we? So we tried for the last 2 days.
Oh yeah, because there's a couple of days where we've got, well, you'll see in an upcoming vlog, but yeah, there's a couple of days where we could do stuff in advance because of our plans, but this window is the whole 10-day Disney window. So we need a strategy.
Do what I'm told.
It's a Christmas miracle.
We did it.
We did it. A couple of things not quite the right time, and a couple of things that I'd assumed were open. I thought I'd actually checked them, and maybe I could see that they were open, but maybe not for the service that we wanted, i.e. breakfast. So we've had to modify a couple of things, but I think we're good, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think maybe 2 or 3 things were not exactly what we wanted, but everything else, bang on.
Woohoo! So that's our stress of the day done now. We can actually go and enjoy
day drinking
the rest of Christmas. Obviously we will keep you updated with our plans soon. And we've just been planning this, like, since we booked the first thing, which I think was the flights. I think we booked the flights first and then worked around the hotels, things like that, seeing what offers were on, where we could get the best deals, etc. But one thing that has been consistent, as I'm sure you would expect by now, is the dining, like knowing exactly what dining we wanted to book, based on our experience from our last trip, what we loved, what we didn't love so much, some of the new restaurants, etc. So the dining has been pretty locked down for quite some time. So advanced dining reservation day, we were pretty clear on what we wanted, and as per the video, we were happy to say that we kind of got pretty much everything that was in our plan. So there's just so much more I want to tell you. I just feel like this video is kind of getting on a bit and I'm rambling somewhat. I've even got my cup of tea. I hope you do too. So essentially, for the next few weeks until we actually travel, this channel is going to be taken over by Florida. So I hope you enjoy that, because there's so much I want to talk to you about. More specifics about dining, more specifics about our trip and what we've got planned and how we're doing it, etc. Outfits, I have gone a little bit nuts with the outfits, so there's so much I want to show you there. What we're packing, what we need. Obviously everything is still a minefield to try and work through in terms of testing, etc. Like I say, that we're traveling in about 6 weeks, so I really need to get my bum in gear and lock down some of the things that are kind of up here at the minute and get things booked in and secured and ready to go. But yeah, we're just so excited. We were so excited to tell Oscar. Like, it's been such a hard secret for Pete and I to keep from him, because, you know, we're very transparent usually and quite honest, and we don't really keep much from him. So it was very difficult, but we just didn't want to disappoint him. we're hoping now that that will age well, and hoping that we all do get to go on this trip. But we have obviously explained, well, he knows about COVID, he knows things have been cancelled, etc. So all being well, we're going to Florida. Honestly, like I say, proper pinch me moment, just because we just can't believe it, and it feels like it's come round very fast considering when we originally booked and then started chopping and changing. But we just can't wait to make his dreams come true. Like, Disney we know he loves and will have a magical time, but Universal is new to us. We did not go on our last trip in 2019 because he was only just turned 6, I think, and we thought it was maybe a bit too little to appreciate it. But now we know he's an absolute roller coaster junkie like his parents, obviously Harry Potter and The Simpsons, all of that stuff. It's just going to be a whole new park, well, set of parks to discover, and we can't wait for that. And it's always a little bit apprehensive, isn't it, when you're going somewhere that you've never been before, but we like to research and put the time in to find out what's there, what we're going to experience, how we're going to sort it. So there's a lot to talk to you about Universal, but also hopefully a lot you can share with us about Universal and Discovery Cove and SeaWorld. SeaWorld as well, you know, Sesame Street Land, Oscar, when he was very little, Oscar the Grouch, we used to get him quite a lot of merchandise with Oscar the Grouch on. So we can't wait to go to SeaWorld and experience that, and apparently some of the best roller coasters in Florida, which we also can't wait for. So I think I'm going to stop rambling now. As you can see though, I'm just very excited. Very excited. I think everybody at work is like, thank God she's sharing this now on her YouTube, because maybe she'll stop, maybe she'll stop talking to us about it. But hopefully it's just going to be the trip of a lifetime. And yeah, stay tuned for all the Florida content. Like I say, I've got a lot I want to share with you before we even go. So that's it. That's the announcement and the reveal. Everything's out there now. I can talk about it. We can really get excited as a family, and fingers crossed. That's the thing. We were talking over Christmas. The one thing I don't want to hear in 2022 is the phrase, if it goes ahead. That phrase should be made illegal now. Let's try and be more optimistic and positive and keep our fingers crossed that everything will go ahead. So if you've got any tips for us, drop them down in the comment box. We're all ears. We're doing as much research as we can right now to get ourselves prepared. So if there's anything you want to pass on, please do let us know. And get ready for the Florida takeover. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you want to see all of the upcoming exciting Florida content. And I'll see you soon for another video.